Welcome everybody to another episode of the AUSNZ HCR2 Community Podcast. We have a cracker of an episode this week. We have a couple of people from a really fun team, and we're really looking forward to getting on to chat to them. But just before we do, welcome to my fellow hosts, JR and Pete. How are you?
Hello.
Good. How are you, Jackrabbit?
I am doing good. Since it's
Have you
already
survived the weather?
September, I've survived the weather, but I have something nicer to tell you. Since it's already September, can you guess what? It's already Christmas in the Philippines.
Oh, really?
Oh no, no.
Yeah.
No, so we can blame you for all the stuff that's out already.
The shopping malls have these Christmas decorations, the Christmas
Yep.
songs, the Christmas spirit. Yeah, so it's just a little bit of a
Jeez.
festive mode already.
Wow. Wow.
What about you, Pete? What's going on?
Oh, nothing too great. It's not Christmas over here yet, so I'm kind of grateful for that, but that's okay.
Mm.
So we've still got like what is it, Halloween to go through and Thanksgiving and all those holidays we don't really celebrate but we get involved in.
Halloween's it's a big one down here. We have a full festival type deal down at Coal
Whoa.
Creek. I don't know if you guys know
Oh.
Coal Creek.
No.
It's like it's an old mini mining town.
Oh wow.
It's pretty cool. It's like way back when in the 80s set up like that. And yeah, they decorate it and do Halloween themes and everyone gets involved and it's great.
Oh, that's nice.
I might have to come down and have a look, Pete.
Yeah.
What about
All
you,
right.
Eva?
Oh,
No, not yet.
well, I'm actually feeling extremely relaxed. I've had 10 days off from work. Went to a
Nice.
foreign country and sat on a beach and did absolutely nothing almost for 10 days.
Must have been terrible.
It was. Having to pack my bag and come back was terrible.
Mm.
Because it was just so nice to sit and the work phone was off, emails were diverted and everything else. It was just beautiful. So yeah, I posted a couple of photos to the group chat that we have through the holiday, so you all saw how beautiful it was. But the people in Vanuatu, I'm going to say this: the people in Vanuatu are the most amazing, friendly bunch of people I have met outside of Japan. It didn't matter where you were, who you were, where you were walking. Everybody said hello. Everybody said welcome. Everybody said thank you. Everybody said please.
That's amazing.
It was so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It was so beautiful. So if you want to go somewhere and feel like you just slip right in and fit in and feel comfortable, go to Vanuatu. So yeah. All right. We have some pretty amazing guests from a team called Loyal Outcasts. I'm going to quickly introduce them. Welcome to the podcast, both Bob Father and KM Kraken. How are you both?
I'm very well.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, cool.
Welcome.
Yeah, very much welcome. I was a bit shocked when I joined the voice chat and Kraken started talking, and I went, "That's not a male voice."
That's not who I expected.
Nope. I
I
get called dude a lot.
Which is probably the opposite to me. It's usually, hang on, that's not a girl's voice. So yeah, well, there you have it. There you have it. Well, welcome to both of yous. We're going to talk a little bit about the game. Pete, did you have a bit at all?
Oh, I could talk about a bit, but I just want to hear about their team like Loyal Outcasts.
Yeah, fair enough.
Did you want me to
fair
do
enough.
a bit?
JR, did you have a bit?
No, not really.
Not really?
I just noticed that the team event only had 4 vehicles.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll do a quick bit.
Yeah.
Give me a little minute
Alright.
to get into it.
My question is why?
Why am I doing a
Well,
bit?
No, why were there only 4 vehicles?
Because it's bussing for real.
yeah.
2 buses.
Ah, there
All
were
right.
I didn't see. Okay, go on.
Yeah. So it's called bussing for real, or FR. 4-track event. First track is time attack, which as fast as you can. Second is a long jump. Third is a multi jump. And then the fourth is stay on the ground, airtime penalty. So vehicles available are the dune buggy, the supercar, hot rod, and there's 2 buses. This will favour having mastery on the bus for this event. So if you don't have it, like me, unlucky.
Why do you say that, Pete?
Because it is very handy as a kangaroo sort of track vehicle when it's
Oh.
in the minibus. It doesn't break.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
As the
Well-
minibus or as the roofless bus?
I'm pretty sure it's the minibus. I don't have it. I've just been told that it's very handy. Like, oh, why aren't you using the bus? I don't have mastery. So yeah, it's
I'm only playing the new event on the alt account, which doesn't have mastery for the bus yet. So
yeah,
I'm using
Dune buggy. I'm playing Dune buggy.
but I was going to talk a little bit about mastery. I'm glad you mentioned that. Go on,
Excellent.
Peter. Yeah, go on.
I'll continue.
Yeah, you continue.
So track 1, as we know, time attack, and it's in.
Oil fun rig.
Yes, that track.
Yes,
Oil
that's
fun
it.
rig.
The oil fun rig.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's one of those. I'm using the hot rod with start boost, nitro, and landing boost.
hmm
The strategy is to go over the top on both of the tracks, and the only way to get over the second one is with landing boost. You have to land just past the little cannon and into the dip,
Mm-hmm.
and it shoots you up.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you get on top, you just gun it to the finishing line. Track 2, long jump, and that's in the mountains. I've been using the bus with level 3 thrusters. I found is best, wings and nitro. But if you had mastery, you could have used the broken bus, nitro, and I don't know, probably fume. Not sure. But there's a strategy where you can break the bus in half and get a lot further. But I just cannot fly the bus in half. I don't know if you guys are going to attempt it. I attempted it and just did a quick loop and landed on 0. So didn't work.
Fair enough.
Track 3 is multi-jump in the patchwork plant. I've been using Dune Buggy with Kanga.
Yep.
And yeah, the track 4 is stay on the ground in the city. I've been using the Lamborghini with winter tires, nitro, and afterburner with maximum air brakes.
Downforce. Yeah, downforce. Yep. Cool.
And
Cool.
that is my strategy.
Nice.
Currently on
Well, it
28.
sounds like
Yeah, go on.
it sounds like you all are maybe a whole team event ahead of us.
Yeah, we are.
It's because
Because
the
you guys had the auto matchmaking.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, if you're in CC,
Gotcha.
you get auto matchmaking, which is why I've only got my alt hasn't started playing the new game yet, the new team event yet.
I see. Very good.
No, CC.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the top scorer in our team currently has 32k, so I'm fairly confident that CC teams will be getting around 40 on this one. We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
On to your bit now, Eva.
Well, I was going to talk a little bit about mastery. I'm two parts in on the lowrider, and I'm contemplating why I've done it at all, because the extra fuel is very piss poor, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it. But oh, I was hoping to go a little bit further with the unit with more fuel, but it's only a little bit more fuel. It's not a whole lot more fuel.
Which vehicle is it?
The lowrider.
Lowrider.
Yeah, the lowrider, the first part. So, and as you know, I haven't done all the masteries on the auto count. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to do the lowrider on the auto count. So, yeah.
No. Me either.
Very interesting. But I mean, I'm still reeling a little bit about the Moonlander being shut down a little with that fuel thing. I'm a little bit pissed about
Yeah, that was disappointing.
What?
that was
What are you talking about? I
okay.
have
So
mastery.
Yeah,
You've
when they
done
had the
mastery.
mastery of the Moonlander, and you could do thrusters at 1 and the first mastery level on, you could just thrust and thrust and thrust all day until you run out of
Right.
fuel about 10 minutes down the track.
Yeah,
But
and you
now
can
they've
do
changed it.
yeah, you could do about
Oh,
2,000 meters on a tank of fuel, just flying.
yeah.
And it's been reduced back to about 400 meters now. So
Well, that's silly.
well,
Mhm.
that was the whole reason we did mastery, because we saw this amazing thing, and we all went, "Oh yeah, that's great. That's going to help in team events." That's the only reason I did it on the alt. So
Exactly.
yeah. So anyway, we shall see, because there are people that have, may have paid to get, in terms
Trust
of
me.
gems. There are people that would have paid for gems and all that sort of stuff, going, "Oh well, that's worth doing." Only for it to be, taken back. It's
Taken
a
away.
bit, taken away. It's a bit
And it was
misleading.
only useful on the moon event,
Moon.
on the moon
Yeah.
tracks, because thrusters at level 1 doesn't work very well in normal gravity.
Yeah, normal gravity.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually have mastery on my Moonlander, so I haven't used it since. So knowing this is, I would have went in there doing something thinking, what the heck?
Mhm.
Yeah. And it was a series of, you had to do this, you had to do that, you had to do this to be able to get it to do exactly what you needed. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel I feel a bit bitter about that, to be honest. But that's all right. Let's move on. So, sorry, Bob, you're about to say something.
Well, I was thinking I was losing my mind. I had that benefit for like one day, and then the next day I couldn't make it happen anymore. And I thought I maybe hallucinated it. I never did it to begin with. I'm so behind the times.
Yeah, that's what they did.
That's what they did. JR, did you have something to talk about, or?
Nothing much.
Okay. No problems. No problems.
You could talk about how you're doing so well in Team 2.
I can go back to team 3. That's what I'll talk about.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alrighty, let's get the guest stories
Yeah.
on. Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Maybe I
Alright.
should introduce Bob a little bit.
Yeah, go on.
I
You do it.
think you should.
Yeah, I remember. Actually, we invited Hero to this episode. I'm just quite sad he couldn't make it. Hero, if you're be listening, so hello to you. I hope you're okay. And I remember Bob Father. Okay. Um, asked the question on that episode, and it was really funny. So I was curious, who is Bob Father? Right? So we found out that Hero and Bob Father are very good friends, and of course they're teammates in Loyal Outcast, and he's one of the co-leaders. So I DM'd him, I said, would you like to be on the podcast? Because I've been seeing him putting up questions every now and then on the other podcast guests. So he said he's been an avid listener to the podcast, and he said yes. And I said, invite some of your members and friends to join you on your podcast episode. So here he is, Bob Father. Hello, finally.
Hello, JR. Yeah, I'm so thrilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting that the podcasts that I've listened to, I don't remember ever having a female guest. That's why I was excited about the
Yes.
concept of
Yeah.
Kraken coming on, because
Yes.
Kraken, she's original OG with our Loyal
Oh,
Outcast group. She's been
wow.
good friends with Hero for many years, from my understanding. I
Mhm.
met Hero last October, Halloween actually. Um, so that's I've only been with Loyal Outcast for a little while, since Halloween, and nothing compares. Nothing compares to it.
Yeah. Also, before
Mm-hmm.
before we ask you of your history, we'll just say hello to Kraken. I'm glad you made it here. And yeah, just like what Bob Father said, there's only a few um, female podcast guests who are really happy that you're on. Hello to you and welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. I,
Mhm.
I certainly appreciate it. This has been so far so exciting, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, we're really glad you're here. Okay, so should I go on, Eva, or would you like to
No, you
continue?
go. You go.
You're
Okay.
doing so well,
You're
Jack, by
doing
the way.
quite well. You're doing quite well. Go on.
Okay. So, I'd like to ask Bob Father first. How did you find out about HCR2? How did you find out about the game? Did you ever also play HCR1? And, just a little bit of history about yourself. And how did you find the team Loyal Outcast?
Okay. Um,
Mm.
I never played a game on my phone up till approximately a year ago. And then I asked a buddy, hey, you ever play a game on your phone? And he says, try HCR2.
Oh,
No, I've never done HCR1, but I, I
okay.
played I played nonstop for hours and hours and loved it. Loved it so much that I I started to look at it closer and realize, oh, well, there's teams. Okay,
Mm.
so
Mhm.
uh, I joined a team and it was ridiculous. It was a bad experience.
Oh,
It was a very quiet group, and
okay.
actually they spoke French Canadian most of the time. So
Mm.
I, I guess that I guess I allowed the game to randomly assign me to a team. I got fed up with them, and I randomly got assigned to Loyal Outcast. And I don't think it's random. I think it was a gift from the heavens, to be honest.
Oh.
Nice.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I don't know if that was all your questions.
No, just keep going. So, when you joined Loyal Outcast, did you um make friends with them right away, or yeah, how did you find out about their Discord, or yeah, just any more experiences?
Well, my experiences was the chat that they have on there. There's 50 people interacting with each other. Well, most of them
Mhm.
do,
Yeah.
and they support each other in the game and
Hmm.
in personal life, and it was such a warm feeling to be exposed to something like that. I didn't know that you could do that in a game,
Yeah.
and I that was something I needed in my life, to be part of something that's bigger than me. And they welcomed me with open arms. have always been the poorest scorer on the game, and yet they I guess they opened up their doors for me, and they haven't asked me to leave, and I'm still the poorest scorer in the game.
That's all good. You don't need to be a great scorer.
We could be friends. I can relate to you a lot.
Which team of Loyal Outcasts are you actually on at the moment?
There was just the one team that Hero was in charge of, and that's Loyal Outcast 1, and that's where I got on board. Back then, they weren't so CC orientated. They were just kind of working their way through the ranks and such. But yeah, then we evolved in more or less what I would consider an experiment to open up some other Loyal Outcast teams and make, I guess you could call it a clan. And at that point, I said I would be willing to start an alt and lead the lowest level team, the easiest, most laid back, Division 7 or lower, the easiest laid back group, and we did that, and it filled up. And after that, it's like, well, we have a lot of interest in people wanting to join Loyal Outcasts, and we have some fantastic co-leaders like Dr. Fuzzy, which we were hoping he would be on the podcast tonight, but it doesn't work out with the time differences and such. So he had a lot of his own following and started a team on the Loyal Outcast brand. And as well as Wilbur, who's another huge co-leader, contributor, he had a following, and they wanted to start another mid-rank team. So you got my main account on the main team with a little over 11,000 GP, and then you got my second account on the lowest level team, which we typically reset to Division 7 every season. And I have like a 5,000 GP account there, and I put most of my effort into the main team and just have fun with the lower team. And the other teams are an experiment, and everything's working great as far as I know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how much garage power has your main account got?
How much what?
Garage
garage power GP. It's 11,200, and
wow.
It's
and you got that in a year.
About a year and a half, and it costs some money to do that. And I did it in an odd way, I believe. I would upgrade every part that was the cheapest to upgrade. I didn't necessarily upgrade the parts that I should have been upgrading. And that allowed my GP to go up rather fast. And I used to do 2,000 to 2,500 kilometers a week. So I was active. I was getting all the parts, all the loot, all the chests, doing everything I could to build that account up, and spending real life money. Now the second account, I've had to relearn how to make that second account as powerful as I can. I've learned from all the friends that I've picked up from the game that explain how they build their garage. So I'm learning.
Yeah, sounds a lot like Eva's story, to be honest.
Yeah,
like the way he built his account so quickly. He just went all out.
And then that explains and that explains why I can have an 11.5 GP and be the poorest scorer on the team, because the skill level I don't have it. Like, I mean, look at Ms. Kraken here. She's got approximately half the GP, and I can barely keep up to her score. because she's been
Well-
at it for so many more years.
Mhm.
Well, my story is a little bit different. I ended up losing my main account, which I at the time had a little over 9,300 GP. So I ended up switching from a Samsung phone to an iPhone, and I lost my main. So I spent about 8 months trying to work with Fingersoft to get my back, and
Wow.
we just couldn't figure it out. So I ended up starting about 7 months ago from the bottom, which is why my garage power is so low right now. But so I'm working back up there, and I'm you know, it's a struggle because you're so used to having all the right boosts and all the right places and all the right times, and uh it's a bummer. But you know what?
Frustrating.
I keep going. I keep going, and it just seems like Bob and I are competing for the bottom right now. So,
And we
so
still
you
get to
know,
stay on
sometimes-
the team, and they still keep us.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Lovely.
Sometimes it's fun to try and work out a different strategy to everybody else because you simply don't have the parts.
sometimes it's a little bit more advantage too.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out for the best right at the moment. Now, this team event that we are on right now, you know, that last track is just a nightmare.
The wheelie, the monster truck wheelie.
Yes, I
Yes.
mean,
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I got the most I've done is like 383 or something like that, but
You're
that was
doing
a
well.
one-time deal.
You're doing-
Now listen, that was a one-time deal. I could improve on all the other tracks, but boy, I'll tell you, if I don't get that 300 and something in the last track, my score's still nothing.
I'm just happy to
I'm
get through that first tunnel.
I'm pretty consistent on the wheelie. I'm consistent
Right?
on 100 meters.
Okay.
See,
Consistency
I'm
is the key.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm at the lowest part of the team event leaderboard. I also have an 11K GP. I've been playing since COVID. Okay, and I'm the lowest part of the leaderboard for team events, and Pete hasn't kicked me out of the team yet. So I'm just happy.
No way.
It's so I actually started out with
Yeah.
HCR one.
Mm.
Then when I went back into this was years ago, and then when I went back in to find another game that was a little bit more challenging, I come across HCR two, and I looked at it and I was thinking, wow, okay, they really upped their game here. So better graphics, better everything. So I'm now booking it. I'm downloading it. Let's start. And so I did. I was kind of similar to Bob there, that you just don't first start out and you see all these graphics. It's where did this all come from? And then you improve and improve, and then all of a sudden you find a team. What, they have teams? Perfect. Let's see what happens there. So I actually started out on a couple teams like Bob Father did, and that they weren't that great of an experience. So I started moving around a little bit more as my garage power got up there, and I ended up on a team called Happy Racing, and they were very similar to Loyal Outcasts, where they bring you in, they talk a lot. It felt like, you know, a true family. And unfortunate circumstances with that particular team, we I actually our team leader had some family life crises, and so I took over team lead for him for a while, and uh, he just I didn't hear back from him for the longest time, and ended up having to find other teams for all my players because I just couldn't handle the leading of this
Mhm.
big team, and
Mhm.
nobody else, felt like they could step up. So I met Hero,
Mm.
and so he invited, or well, actually, I asked him, "Hey, you got room for me?" So that's how I became to know Hero and Loyal Outcasts, which has been an honor being on their team. I've led a couple of his other teams, and that was a great experience as well. Teaching and guiding these younger ones are just it's just an amazing experience. You get to know them on a personal level, and what a joy they are.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what keeps
Yeah.
me going with that team too.
Well, I mean, teams and Discord kind of brought us all together. Like, without teams in the game, without Discord outside the game, we wouldn't be where we are. Type thing. We wouldn't have the AUSNZ community. We wouldn't have all the other communities.
We certainly wouldn't have this podcast.
Yeah, we wouldn't have this podcast. Like,
Yeah.
the team stuff
Agree.
kind of got us all together. And the
Discord
good.
has only been for a couple months. I've barely been on it. I have a hard time navigating through it, and
Yeah, you'll get
I'm
better.
surprised. I'm surprised it took me that long. How old people work. They're the last one on the boat.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
still struggling with Discord.
well, the good thing, I suppose, the good and bad thing about the in-game chat was the in-game chat was so terrible that people went to Discord to basically, keep the conversation going. Which, if the in-game chat was any better, we wouldn't have started all these Discord servers. So,
Yeah, much agreed.
like,
Mhm.
if they'd made a really good in-game chat, it would have been detriment to the game, I think. So, I'm glad the in-game chat was good, but not good enough,
Right.
because it made us
Hashtag,
good.
hashtag, hashtag. It
It
drives me
made us.
nuts. I type.
No, yeah. And all you're saying is Bob, and it's like it's
Yeah,
hashtag Bob, and you're like, why?
true.
In what language is Bob a swear word? Like, really?
Yes, true
You know?
story. But it will let you swear a couple words, and then that don't make any
Yeah,
sense either.
yeah. No, it's like, you see some of the in-game names, and you go, surely someone hasn't filtered that. Filtered for
Right.
that, but they filter for Bob in the in-game chat. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That's
So
hilarious.
yeah, no. Yeah. So sorry, I went sideways a little there. That's what I usually
Yes.
do. I go on sidetracks.
Go
Oh
on
goodness.
tangents.
My
I
little
love
tangent.
it.
We love it.
So Pete, did you have a specific question for them at all? Something from yourself, or?
I would really like to know more about Kraken's photography skills because we were talking earlier that you do some photography. Sorry to steal that if you had that one in mind either.
Oh no, that's fine. We've had
Um,
a good chat offline.
yeah. Could you tell us a bit about that? How
Sure.
you got into it?
Oh, well, I was an assistant manager at Walmart, and I actually had the photo center as one of my departments. And so I would go in there, I'd learn some things, and this was before digital even came out, so SLRs or anything like that.
There was
So I
there was
started getting
cameras there was cameras before digital.
I
35
way.
millimeter,
It's,
baby.
it's called,
No,
that's right.
sorry, that was
35 millimeter.
sorry, that
So
was me
that's how
being
I,
facetious. That was me being facetious. Sorry.
yeah, there was. I'm not quite that old. However, yeah, that's exactly how I got into photography. And this one professional photographer would come in, and I actually hired him to do a photo session for me and my kids. And I just started asking him questions, and he set me up with a decent camera, and I would go into the photo center and develop all that myself in the 1 hour photo. And then the SLRs came out, and I was bound and determined not to ever get one of those things. And I saw his stuff once he got his and he was doing his thing. I'm like, wow, okay, this is a game changer. So I had to get one. And I got, not a very good one, but I thought it was the best ever. And the next thing I know, I'm putting a business together and I'm doing weddings and senior pictures. I'm hiring other photographers for taking different
Wow.
angles.
Wow, just shot
Yeah,
up. Wow.
I know. It was a great experience. So I absolutely loved it, and I was very glad though once I started this job. I gave all my stuff to my daughter, and she has some children now, and she's doing wonderful pictures of them. So
How
now
nice.
now I just kind of do it for a passion and nothing real major. So that's how I started.
And when
Yeah.
you're doing weddings, you find yourself working on weekends all the time. Everybody gets married on the
Yes,
weekend.
being a single parent though, I was an assistant manager at Walmart, and being a single parent, even though I did well, I just needed something. And the passion for taking these photography uh, was overwhelming with me, so I continued with it. And then, weddings became. I had a pretty airtight contract with these, for lack of a better word. Some of them were bridezillas. So, oh yeah, that's kind of why I stepped back a little. But the summertime gig was awesome. For the most part.
Yeah.
You'll get really busy doing senior pictures too when it becomes the time for the yearbook.
Oh yes, I did.
Yeah.
I had to assist
Oh,
my wife. My wife was involved with that for 15, 20 years. And yeah, on the 35 millimeter days, she did her own negative touch ups. But I was the guy that was, I don't know, a fluffer. No, I was, I was, I was,
hang on,
I was the guy
for
that
those listening at
cared.
home, don't Google what a fluffer is, please.
I'm
Yeah,
googling.
Like
I'm
a
right.
going to
guy that
Google
had,
right now. I'm searching right now.
Oh
Don't,
no.
It's
no,
like the
please,
guy that
no.
holds
don't.
the fluffy animal, isn't it? It makes the
No,
kids
Yes.
smile.
I had to carry the equipment, I had to make sure the equipment was where it was supposed to be, Like, yikes,
Yeah.
yikes. What do I do now?
Well, I used to have a running gag that I would need a VAL, a VAL, whenever I was doing a shoot, and it was an acronym for a voice activated light stand, and it's
Mhm.
basically
Ah,
someone who holds the light, and I tell them to come closer or go further away,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
And they would just move forward or move backward. It was voice activated light stand. It was great.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, bridezillas. I only ever had one bridezilla. I used to have a very rigorous interview. Like we would sit around a coffee table having a cup of coffee, and if I couldn't make them laugh in 15 minutes over a cup of coffee, I didn't do their wedding. I don't care.
Mm.
No amount of money was worth
Good
the
rule.
problems afterwards. Do you know what I mean?
So
Oh yeah.
So
was it ever
when-
your material that was the fault, or was it just them not
probably.
being?
No, well, I just figured if I couldn't get them to laugh over a cup of coffee in a cafe with terrible jokes, then I was never going to get them to make them laugh on their wedding day in a highly stressed situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you got to be comfortable. You need to be comfortable, feel comfortable, and have them feel comfortable. Yes, yeah.
And most often, like I'd say this, I never shot two weddings the same. And when I say that, I don't mean, they had a bride, there was a bride and groom, but, someone, one guy really liked his cars. Another person would have loved, their Batman socks was the highlight of their wedding, or, the fireworks was the highlight of their wedding, or, the location was the highlight of the wedding, or, so there were never two weddings that were identical. And once you get them around a cup of coffee in a cafe talking about the day, and they're telling you what's important to them, and 2 weeks later, 10 weeks later, 15 weeks later, 3 months later, when you're doing their wedding and you remember that and you hone in on that sort of stuff, it made
Right.
them feel like you really, really cared about what was important to them. Because at the end of the day, I did, but
Exactly.
and that just like there was a wedding I did. It was a very small wedding out in the middle of nowhere in Queensland, and the couple had gotten little point and shoot cameras for everybody to use. And she had a list. She'd written up a list of 21 different things that she wanted people to capture. Things like a heartfelt moment, something blue, out of focus lights, all this stuff. There's 21 of them in this list, and I
Good
saw it.
night, 11.
I saw it early in the morning, and I looked at it, and I went, right, okay, from now on, every photo I take is going to have at least three. In every single photo I take, I'm going to have at least three of these things. And that was how I presented it to them. 2 weeks later, when they got back from the honeymoon, I'm sitting around looking at photos with them, and I said, "This has got this, this, and this, and this one's got that, that, and that." And the bride and groom were just, taken aback, because at the end of the day, it meant I wasn't just there taking random photos. I was thinking
Right.
about what was going on as well, and making sure that I could fulfill her dreams of having all these amazing things happening in her photos.
So important.
Spectacular.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, again, sidetracked.
Do you have a favorite photo shoot that you did, Kraken, or Bob? Seeing as you're the fluffer of the two, did you have a favorite? I'll start with Kraken.
Start with Bob.
I'll start with Bob.
Okay. Okay. The only thing that sticks out in my mind is when my wife would do senior pictures, and the person might look questionable, and yet she could make them look beautiful. It was almost like the glamour shots they used to have here in the States years ago. And these senior girls would be so ecstatically happy, and that made my wife feel so good, and then I get to feel good through context. And yeah, that's one thing that stuck out in my mind, is where you could you could do the right things with photos and take an average looking person and make them look like Madonna.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would say for me, one of my favorite photo shoots, I've done some live births. So I was able to be one of the participants in an actual birth, and getting the angles just right to make it not look like a horror film and get the family in there was not only interesting, but I tell you what, those photos actually turned out rather well, and I'm very proud of that. And the parents were just amazing, and they loved them. So it made me feel like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm on the right track here. I need to
Yep.
do more of these.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I,
that's a unique sort of photo shoot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's cool.
I
Yeah,
must
that's not
say,
an example I would have ran with myself. That
no,
sounds kind of creepy coming from this angle.
but
But
I must say, as I was learning photography over the years that I was doing it, I was trying to get the approval from people that didn't matter. Other photographers would look at your work and they'd go, "Well, if you were standing over there and you're doing this, you're doing that." If you are selling your work to people and people are paying you to buy stuff that you've photographed of them, then that is all the recognition you need.
Absolutely.
Not some other photographer who tells you to say, "Oh, you should have used a different lens, or you should have used if you were standing in a field instead of on the like no
Right.
one can look back at someone else's work and say if you'd done this differently it would have looked better because they weren't there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They don't.
absolutely agree.
And that was the bugbear. I used to do camera club in Adelaide, and oh my god, it was you could pick you knew exactly what the judge was going to say before they'd even opened their mouth. It'd be like, well, this is sharp, and it's got good this and good that and blah blah blah, and all they did was follow the rules.
Right.
And as a general rule, I didn't follow the rules. You know, I would
Yeah,
I
I
would
hardly ever did either.
I would break
And
the
that's exactly why you were successful, I
yeah,
think.
that's
yeah,
you bet, you bet.
Hmm.
using a fisheye in a wedding. People go, "Oh, you can't use a fisheye in a wedding." Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
And
you can.
I would have fun doing that sort of stuff. Like, yeah. So to anybody who is listening, who is doing photography, don't listen to other people. If you're being paid to shoot something and someone likes the product that you're producing, then don't change. You know what I mean? Like, don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Um,
Awesome.
sorry.
Did you have any questions, Jackrabbit?
I have a question. Going back a little bit to the game for HCR2. Since you've both been, playing for a while and being on a really good team, what do you enjoy more? Playing the game itself, or do you enjoy the people you meet along the way and the friends that you gain from playing this game? Or is it both? Bob, you can go first.
Well, that's an easy answer for me. I would have given up on the game already because I
Mhm,
would have felt at my personal max.
mhm,
But I don't feel like I could ever give up on the team and all these people that I've met, these wonderful people
mhm,
that we've gotten isolated text chats with, and I mean we communicate with each other on game chat and off
mhm,
of game chat,
mhm,
and we all add something that's missing from our lives, But as far as a video game goes, I mean, I've been addicted to video games since as long as I can remember. I mean, I played every video game. I had the very first game they put on TV. Remember when it was just a white paddle? You played ping pong, I think, and then it was
Yeah,
black and
Pong.
white. Yeah, you just move your paddle, and then the little square ball had to go over the line or the net, and you just go back and forth. That was the first game I ever had, and I mean, I played it till my fingers were blue, and then there's some other one in between there, and then I got ColecoVision, and I thought, holy cow, I've died and gone to heaven. ColecoVision was kind of cool in this time. Um, and then I actually got a job and could earn my own quarters. When I was 14, I would ride my bike 10 miles to the arcade and spend my whole paycheck there just Just loving all those old games. And you could conquer the algorithm. You could conquer the game, and you could play almost indefinitely in some of those games. So I feel that that's led into my addiction of gaming. My kids, we get them all the Wii, PlayStation, and all the Xbox and stuff. And when they find a good game, they turn me on to that game, and I am swallowed up by it. That's all I do all day. I mean, it could be a silly game too. Like I just recently got finished playing with Harry Potter's Hogwarts, of all things. And, for a 57-year-old guy to have that much fun playing a game, but once I closed the game out 100% of achievements, and it's like, oh wait, I can't do that nothing here anymore. I think Hill Climb Racing would be that way for me if it weren't for one, the camaraderie and the friends that I can't turn my back on and never want to leave behind. And number two is, since they keep coming up with updates, it mixes it up for me, I just unlocked a Savannah track 2 days ago, and it's like, ooh, whole new game again.
Yes.
And
That's so cool.
From what my experience of the Savannah track so far, it's actually a really nice track to play.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to doing that. What about you, Kraken? Is it the game or the people behind the game?
Well, for me, having to start at the bottom again, I am super focused on getting my cannoneer, getting my garage power, my boosts that are needed. And for me, during the team events, whatever cars there are, I upgrade those. So I'm pretty focused these days on my own actual account. I could jump in a little bit more and chit chat, but when I do, so I would have to say it's a little bit of both. I enjoy all of it. So having not only Discord and personal phone numbers and being in group chats and things like that, it's been great. But on the second hand, sometimes when I'm playing the game, I am so super focused because I want to get my bus mastery. I'm about 2,000 coins away from getting it, my first one on the bus. So, I'm pretty focused on the actual game right now. And I would think I need to maybe mix it up a little and take, 5 to 10 minutes and maybe chit chat a little bit more. But it's hard for me to do knowing where I came from and losing my main to being super focused on my account right now. It's so hard for me, but I should do it. And I love the game. I love all the people. Thank goodness when I came back about 7 months ago, I was on a Loyal Outcast lower team to get my garage power up. I had next to nothing, starting maybe 500. As soon as I could, I reached out to Hero. Hey, I need a team. What do you got for me? And then once I was able to get all my cars, then we bumped my account into main, and being able to see the people there that was there when I was on before and chit chatting with them and catching up with them, that just meant the world to me.
Yeah.
Earlier when Bob said, it's like a family, he's not kidding. The people there that we already know, also welcoming. I mean, literally everybody, even the ones that I didn't know. So it's been another amazing feeling. So I'm just glad to be a part of HCR2. Period.
And
Yeah.
I like having a platform where I can put my dumb dad jokes on chat, and people actually
they're not
laugh
lost
with
here.
You
Trust
and me
me.
both.
laugh at me and with me. It's all good. I love it.
They're not lost here. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb dad
That's
jokes
awesome.
are us.
Oh, very well said, both of you. Very well said. Ah, okay,
Thank
Eva,
you.
should we? Should we?
Before we do, I
Yeah.
believe that Bob Father has something that he wants to do.
Yeah, he had some questions of his own.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I thought it might be interesting to kind of turn the table on you a little bit. I was gonna
Bring it
save
on.
these I was gonna save these questions that I came up with for when you had an appropriate guest or whatever. But I thought, you know what, I want to do this today. So I
Yes.
mean, for Kraken and you three hosts, I have to ask first a silly question.
Yep.
Yesterday was Friday 13th. Do you have any superstitions?
All right, I'll go first. How's this? I had a car accident when I was about 17, and my mother brought me a chain that was given to me for my communion with a St. Christopher medallion on it. And I have worn that medallion ever since she put it on me when I was 17 or 18. And that was 33 years ago.
Oh, nice. That qualifies.
Right. Now the thing with that is there were days when I would take it off to play netball or play cricket or play whatever, and if I couldn't get it back on and it wasn't straight, I wouldn't drive. So now fast forward, 33 years, and while I'm in Vanuatu, I lose both the chain and the medallion.
Oh,
No.
Oh.
Six days ago, I lost it, and it's a big thing because mum has passed and all that sort of stuff, and it kind of affected me a little. But yesterday, I landed in Melbourne on Friday night, very late, and yesterday I went into a jewelry shop and I bought a new medallion. And it's now in a safe place, and I won't drive without it. So yes, superstitious, not so much, but yes, I am.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yes, it
it
is.
sucks that you lost it. That's
yeah.
that's no fun.
I
But
actually have photos of me wearing it, and I remember it being tangled in my other chain, and then untangling it, and then a couple of hours later getting a selfie with my girlfriend beside me, and realizing I wasn't wearing it after taking the selfie. So I have a window of like 2.5 hours of where it was gone, where it was lost, and
Well,
couldn't
there
retrace my steps.
could be a higher power, reasonable, logical explanation behind everything that we don't understand.
Oh, look, I've always felt like I had a person standing over my shoulder, especially when I'm driving, just holding me back when I need to be held back.
Sure.
I've driven on roads that I've driven on many a time, and there are days when there were a couple of occasions where I've just not been going as fast and come around corners and found kangaroos or trees or
oh,
stuff on
sure.
the road, and
Huh?
it's just been, oh, that's why I was going slow, you know.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, I've had like whatchamacallit dreams where out of body dreams and all that sort of stuff. So very spiritual, but not really religious. More spiritual than religious.
Right on.
Gotcha.
Right on.
maybe that you losing it was meant to happen because it was losing its power, and you need to get a new one. Possibly. Who knows?
I mean, there was also the fact that Mum put it on me, and that was That was the thing. Mum's protection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They never
Yeah.
stop looking out for you. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to start
Exactly.
crying in a minute.
Oh.
Group hug.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Mhm.
Well, Friday the 13th for me is two things. Halloween happens to be right around the corner for the US, and that holiday actually is my favorite holiday. I dress up, I get my house ready. In fact, I have a
Wow.
living room full of stuff that I got from the dollar store, and I'm making all kinds of new stuff. I mean, I go
Mhm.
all out for Halloween, so
Wow.
but also, I have my CDL, a commercial driver's license, and I work for the state driving city bus. So I'm a little bit more vigilant when I am driving people and watching out for other people on the road when Friday the 13th actually comes up. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Interesting.
So hang on. When you need to get everybody off the bus, do you just reverse it into a brick wall?
Oh, of course. No, I do
Bounce out.
rallying and drifting, a little bahaing, over
They
speed
They
bumps
bounce
going
right out.
20, 30. No, I'm joking.
The best
Fully
one is
joking.
jump shocks. Just jump them out.
jump shocks and thrusters. That gets them out quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was a
catapult them,
That was a good one, brother. I like that one.
Oh, gosh. I
this
think
is
about it.
This is how I think. This is why I like these questions that I'm getting thrown under the bus, because it's so much fun. When you get used to being thrown under the bus, it's just so much fun under here.
Yeah. Until they start jumping you out.
Yeah.
I don't really have any sort of superstition or anything like that, but every Friday the 13th, I like to watch some sort of scary movie.
What's your
And
yeah?
the one that we watched just gone with my 10-year-old son, who
Yeah.
loves
Oh,
scary movies and he promises that he can take it. We
Yeah.
watched The Conjuring.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
That's a
he loved
serious
it.
one.
Yeah. There was many jump scares. He was like, oh, I didn't expect that.
Uh,
Yeah. Good.
yeah.
And he
Good.
hasn't lost any sleep. Because
Good.
when we
you
were
know
growing up,
that you
when
know
we were
'em.
growing up, yeah, exactly. We watched
Yeah.
all the
I
scary
agree.
movies and the thrillers and everything like that, played all the scary games.
Mhm.
And sure, you get a little bit scared and you need to run to the toilet in the nighttime, but it's all fine. Character building.
I agree with you. I have no superstitions, but I love to watch a movie that makes the hair stand up on my arms.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I have
Yeah.
I don't have any superstitions for Friday the 13th or any Friday the 13th related story, but last Friday, September 13th, happened to be the day that my firstborn child was born.
Oh
September
wow.
13th,
Oh,
2000. Yeah, he was born on September 13th. He would have been 24 years old by now.
Oh,
Past
I'm sorry to
But
tense
hear
would
now,
that.
have. Ouch.
past tense. Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry to
Ouch.
hear that.
So, yeah, that's fine. That's a story for another day.
Yeah.
No more tears on this
Absolutely.
podcast episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay.
Well,
That was a good one.
that
Yeah.
answers my silly question. But now, this next question is about something that I find both fascinating and frightening. Um,
Oh boy.
okay, yeah, it goes by the initials AI.
Oh.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, considering this AI is advancing at the speed of light, do you all have any concerns of how this may affect a gaming platform? And will people be able to have their computer play the game for them, and it's going to open up a whole new level of unfair advantages, shall we call it?
Well, people already do that with an auto clicker.
What?
Yeah.
So they set up this thing on their device where it touches the screen in certain places every so often. So they just turn that on, walk away, and they get all these kilometers for their team.
And now
Yeah,
Really?
we
I'm
can
not a
Yeah.
fan.
And we can blame those auto clickers for ads now having 7 different buttons to shut them
Yeah.
down.
Right.
Yep. And the Are You a
Dang.
Robot thing, that's what that's about.
Yeah, and Are You a Robot as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
My problem with AI so far is seeing that you can get a static photo of someone and make it come to life in terms of making them talk. And then
Oh,
AI can also record your voice anywhere. I mean, most of our phones are listening to us at all times. So they have a version of our voice. They can make us talk in a photo. So how long before we can't? I mean, we already can't believe most video because there's so much great CGI work. How long before we can't believe anything that's on video?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Scary times.
Agreed.
You know,
Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan.
I mean, it might make some presidential debates actually quite lively and good because you know
Oh.
the AI would be smarter than some of the presidential candidates. But you know, the problem with that is then one of those AIs would be elected, and that would be an even bigger joke.
Do you think that's already happened, perhaps?
Maybe. Well, they say the biggest problem with political jokes is they get elected.
Yeah. No comment.
No comment. So, not that we like to talk about politics or anything like that, but I'm just, yeah, just a bit of fun. Yeah, that's my problem with AI. At what point do you start believing? You know, for a while you had to believe photos because you know photos were on film and you couldn't really play with them. They were manipulatable, but not really that much. And then Photoshop came out, and all of a sudden people are going, "Oh my god, you know, I can make someone do this or do that. I could do this or do that." And you know, Photoshop was always intended for good purposes, but then all of a sudden, you know, you get people who are telling you how to lose weight, and of course you look at their photos and the door jams they're standing in front of are bent, and you go, "Oh, look at that! They've narrowed their waist as well as the door jam." You know, and then
Right.
you go, "Oh, we can't believe photos anymore." And then, "Oh, but if it's video, you know, it's harder to edit video." Well, now we fix that as well.
Right.
So, you know, at what point do we then turn around and say, "Well, we can't believe anything we see or read"? And Facebook is one of those self-fulfilling prophecies because at the end of the day, anybody can post to Facebook and all of a sudden it's on the internet. So what do we believe on
Right.
the internet? Nothing. Yeah, sorry, I'm a bit cynical about it because I'm concerned of what will happen next, you know.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
I'm
Yep.
sure we've all seen the Will Smith movie I, Robot.
Yeah, but iRobot was based on I mean if you actually read the book that movie was based on,
Yeah.
the movie is only one small part of what the book is based on, and the book talks more about why robots fail given the 3 laws that they were given. And the movie is all about the 3 laws and how they interpret the 3 laws into saving the population. Whereas the
No
movie
harm to humans, I remember.
Yeah. So, you know, and we can't let
Right.
humans harm each other. So if we lock them up, we're basically keeping them safe. You know, we're following all the rules, you see. And the movie itself was quite good, but the book the book goes into why robots do what they do, and it comes back to the same old thing, that they were told a certain number of things to do by humans, and it was always human error that made AI or the robots in I Am Robot stupid, because we told them to do exactly what we told them to do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the
Yeah.
AI that's the problem; it's the people programming the AI, which is always the problem.
Books always go into much more detail than.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
I'll lend you the book. It's actually quite interesting because it's 3 separate small stories.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I might go out and get the book because I actually liked the movie. So
Yeah, the movie's fantastic.
Yeah, you bet.
And I might say the book might be a little bit underwhelming because it's not really as fascinating as the movie was.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, but it
Goes
is
into
quite.
more details.
No, it's not
Is
about
it?
more details. Like one of the stories is about some robots that are mining on Mars or some space planet, and how they weren't following the rules. And it was basically all about the 3 rules and how they'd gone into an infinite loop because of the 3 rules.
okay,
And what the book is trying to point out is that, if we're trying to limit robots by giving them certain rules, then we have to be mindful of what these rules get them to do and don't do, because it could effectively affect our outcome, which is what they do in the
Right
movie.
on. Yeah.
The
true.
movie is all about, how the robots interpreted the rules, and then how they made the rules not so much work for them, because at the end of the day, when they did, if you look at what they were doing in the movie and why the robots were doing what it was doing, it wasn't malicious.
Right.
It looked malicious and it felt malicious, but
Yeah.
realistically, it was the robots doing exactly what they were told to do, which was to look after us as a human race.
Right. So, if you don't mind, I have a quick question for you all if we have time.
Yeah, sure.
Other than your daily jobs and HCR2, what exactly do you all like to do for other fun or hobbies?
Pete, you go first.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I love it. I don't do it as much as I'd like to, but I like to go hiking. Looking around at nature really fascinates me. I always take photos of like mushrooms and fungus whenever I go out there.
You're a fun guy.
I'm a fun guy.
Boo.
Rivers, waterfalls, all that sort of thing. They really fascinate me too. So I just like getting out there amongst nature.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. How about
JR?
you, Eva? Oh, Jackrabbit.
Yeah, JR, what about you?
I don't go out so much. I don't have any outdoor activities. So other than playing HCR2, I love chatting with people online. That's
Mm-hmm.
about it. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
How
enough.
about you, Eva?
Well, I love cars outside of racing cars in HCR2. I love cars, all sorts of cars. I have a MX-5 or a Miata from 1999. That's in very good condition, and we regularly go for drives. It's a good weekend weather car. Sorry, a good weather weekend car. So
I was going to say, being a convertible, it wouldn't be a good weekend weather car.
yeah. No. Yeah. It's a good weather weekend car. So, and I managed to do probably 10,000 k's, a year in it. So when I
Oh,
say I drive
wow.
On which
we
track?
no,
Which
just
track do
everywhere,
you tend
just everywhere.
to-
Adventure tracks, yeah.
Yep.
So, and there's a car club, like there's actually a drive today which I'm going to miss because of the podcast, but like it's not that big a deal. I'm getting one of the seats repaired at the moment, so I wasn't going to go in my MX-5 anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoy, getting in front of people and chatting to them about their cars and their history behind their cars, their story. Because, like JR, I like to talk to people, but I tend to like to do it face to face. And I really enjoy just hearing why they bought and when they bought and what they've done to it and all that sort of stuff. That to me
Nice.
is more fun sometimes than actually just looking at someone's car, understanding what was cool about it. And then I've obviously done a fair bit of photos. I do like to teach people about how to use a camera, and I enjoy doing that as well. So wherever I can, I try and help people with what they're using and how to get the best out of it and all that sort of stuff.
Very good.
All I got to say is I I sit here on the couch and I hold down the cushion, and I do that for about 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day, I play the game. But I have music going in the background constantly.
Oh,
Every
yes.
genre of music imaginable. I love everything from rap to heavy metal to classical, rockabilly, all of them except maybe Southern Baptist. But and then the other thing that I can manage to do, because I can't do too much with my health ever since COVID took me down. But the one thing I can manage to do is go out on the deck and do some grilling. And I like to haul
Yes.
out the smoker, haul out the charcoal grill, haul out the rotisserie, and then I make feasts, for my kids and all their friends that come over. It's exciting for me. I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
That's
When are you going to
awesome.
invite
You
us
should
over?
Yeah,
you
I
should
I
join the
hear that a
food channel
lot.
in the AUSNZ server, because me and also do a lot of smoker grilling, all that sort of stuff. We're right into it too, so you should definitely join that channel.
Yeah, I've heard of it, never watched it. I'll take you up on that.
I might give you the food roll. I'll
You
do that now
should.
before I forget.
Mhm.
Alrighty. Well, should we start asking community questions?
Absolutely.
Sure
Yeah.
thing.
Alrighty. Pete, do you want to go first?
I've got a question from Cap A, and this one is specifically for Bob Father. Is your name Bob, and are you a father?
Bob is the shortened version of my name. Definitely father. My wife and I of 38 years I fathered 4 children. So
No.
my children are pretty much grown. The 2 of them passed away. I got 2 left here. One of them just moved out of state, and one of them, my best friend, lives in the basement, and he has a couple of his friends living here, and I think a girlfriend too. So it's kind of like I got a lot of children. I've got about 49 of them on the Loyal Outcasts 2 team that I'm also very fond of.
Aww.
Oh, that's cute.
Right on. That's awesome.
Yes.
Very good. And Kraken, what is it like to help lead LO?
Being a co-leader, it's actually pretty fulfilling when I get a chance and people ask about tunes or what vehicles I'm using or strategies. If I can guide them in the right direction, that feels like I've accomplished something. So, and especially if it works out for them rather well. So, I enjoy being a co-leader. I enjoyed being a leader when I was leading some teams. It, it's pretty fulfilling.
Yeah. Nice.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
How about you, Eva? You can go next.
There's a question here from Fiery. and he's asking three different questions, but we've kind of already answered the first one, which was what do what do you guys enjoy most about Loyal Outcasts? But we've already answered that kind of. The one question I really want to ask, which is really cool, is if you could go anywhere on Earth, anywhere for free, but it's just for a month, where would you go? Let's start with you, Bob.
Oh, for heaven's sakes! It would have to probably be somewhere, Polynesia, South Pacific. I need to do some research because my brain says, "Oh, Hawaii," but no, there's much better places.
Well, I could
I'll
give
get
you a
back
very
to you
good.
on that after I visit this unknown place. I'll let you know.
I was going to say I can give you a big tip. Vanuatu was stunning.
Yeah, I heard you talk about that. Is that an island off of Japan or something?
No, it's Vanuatu is in the Pacific.
Okay.
So it's part of basically Indonesia downwards, really.
Oh, sure.
It's kind of in line with Brisbane in terms of horizontal equator.
Okay.
But it's about 2 hours flight from Brisbane in the middle of the Pacific.
Sounds like about a 20-hour flight for me.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it's a whole there's a whole nest of islands that make up Vanuatu, and we stayed in a little place called Port Vila, which was the capital, but really, really, really nice. There's about 5 or 6 islands that make up Vanuatu, so
yeah, you made it sound really nice. You really did.
Oh, look, there's a couple of photos that I posted in the general chat.
They look really good.
Yeah, and it realistically was just lots of beautiful people who were really, really happy to see you, you know? No, that was go to Vanuatu. Sorry. I'm not being paid
Right
by the
on.
Vanuatu government to say this.
This message brought to you by the Tourist Association of
Yes,
Vanuatu.
of Vanuatu. Yeah. Yes, yes.
Good.
What about you, Kraken?
Well, you're not going to believe this, but I've always wanted to go as a little kid watching National Geographic. I've always wanted to go to Australia.
Oh wow!
I'd love to. I mean, you have the greatest. It looks like adventures. I want to see all the wildlife, all that stuff. Go on safari. That would be great. And your muscular kangaroos.
Oh yeah.
I mean, some of those videos are just like, what are they eating over there?
Yeah.
But I can't
I posted
say
a
I'm
video
also...
a while back about a kangaroo jumping onto a house of a roof, like the roof of a house. Yeah, it jumped onto the fence and then jumped again off the fence onto the roof.
That's just amazing. I love it. My husband and I are going to Africa this coming April. So next year. So a little bit of my hobbies and my husband, mostly my husband, he does a lot of might be not political, but he does a lot of hunting. And he brings in, meat for the family. And so we're going over there for holiday and do a little bit more hunting.
Well, look, I don't have a problem with hunting if you're saying that you bring the meat into the house and then you're feeding the family with it.
Absolutely.
Hunting just for sport, just to kill stuff.
So no, we're not sports hunters. So when you go to Africa, I don't know about other guides, but he has used this guide several times and actually is now a very good friend. So when we go over there and we go hunting, we don't get the meat. We do not get the meat. So what happens is it goes to small villages and
Yeah.
we're able to give whatever we get to these villagers, and it's kind of a win-win situation. So I also get to do a great white shark dive while I'm over there, and I'm super
Oh
excited
my
about that.
gosh.
Absolutely, 100%. So
That's knucking futz.
I am so excited about it. My husband's already done it, so it's my turn, and that's probably one of the most looking forward to. The second most thing I'm looking forward to is being able to go to a school and see some of the culture. And I'm going to pass out school supplies over there, which I've heard that they would absolutely
Awesome.
love these children. So that's probably
Awesome.
going to be the most highlighted thing of my trip.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Honorable.
Well, I just
Yes.
also got to say out loud that I just got my passport like 2 weeks ago, so you have no idea how excited I am to get out of the US.
Yeah,
That
I
is
don't even have a
Just-
passport, so yeah, it would be very
I
exciting.
can picture.
well. I can
I can
say
picture
that.
you in the safari outfit, you know, shooting white rhinos and spotted owls. But it sounds like some
No.
good photo opportunities too, maybe.
Oh,
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely going to bring my SLR with me.
Wow.
So you do
Excellent.
the
That's
camera shooting, your
amazing.
husband do the shooting.
Right.
This trip is vice versa.
oh wow.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Alaska. So
Yep.
there's not much to
and it's
do.
got a gun. And he's
I
got a
have
gun.
several. Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna
Yes.
say, does a Kraken really need a gun though?
You know, speaking of Kraken, okay, so my name evolved on the game by I used to do like I used to max my KMs. So I did a lot of KMs, and here in Washington State, which is where I live, we have now uh, a team here called the Kraken. So I kind of combined them because I love the Kraken and what it looks like and all. So I figured, why not? I'm a KM Kraken.
Now that the KM at the start of your name makes sense. Now it
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my god.
I know
Oh,
it.
I'm
It's
excited for you. When on your trip to Africa, could you please share some pictures with us?
Yes, please.
absolutely will.
Yes.
Yes,
You
please.
Truly
bet.
hope you enjoy it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Jr. Your turn.
Okay, there are some questions here from Marine Mike. Thank you for posting these questions. His first question is, what is your opinion in regard to masteries? Do you think it improves the game? Do you think echo thrusters on Moonlander should be brought back or at least somewhere in the middle? What do you think of the experience grind? Kraken, you can go first to answer.
You know, when the masteries started,
Mhm.
I was pretty thrilled about it. Um, Getting through the 1, 2, 3, and 4 phases of it, that's a little bit of a struggle and it's time consuming, but
Yeah.
I think it's actually worth it
Mhm.
for the most part thus far. As far as the Moonlander, I'm kind of disappointed that it doesn't go as far as it used to. Um, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that they cut it down some, and I would like to see it back. Yes.
Yeah. Mm.
It's almost like they just deleted it. It doesn't do anything anymore.
Well, the thing of that is that I spent so much time getting these masteries.
Yeah.
You know, it should be mine. You gave it to me. Let me have it.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm. Yes,
Yep.
that's true. Yep. Well, what about you, Bob, Father?
Oh well, the first mastery I got was the sports car, which turned out to be pretty pointless. I I spent so much time in those 4 million coins. My God,
Right.
who has 4 million coins? I mean, some of you guys they got
Um,
600 million, but not this guy. Um, it, and
Yeah.
then the Moonlander one came out, and people were like, "Oh, it's so it's awesome because of the eco thrust." And so it was. I think I remember it was easier to get. It required less
yeah, less
XP, and
XP.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I got that unloaded quick, and I was so excited to um, be able to upgrade it with my 4 million coins that I actually bought the $79 gem package and then cashed the gems in for coins. And then, if I remember right, I don't know, a lot of this stuff becomes a blur because I don't necessarily want to remember spending $79 on a stupid thing. Because I'm sure you guys never do that, right?
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Starting at the bottom again? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Thousands.
I hear
Oh
you,
man.
sister. I know.
Do
I know.
you do the double XP with gems?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
Mhm.
indeed. Are you
Yep.
kidding me? I mean,
Yeah, I don't know why
if
some people don't use it.
Because they
more
don't
power
have the
to them,
gems.
but
Not
well,
everybody
you know,
wants to pay to get those extra gems, and their
Bob and I
gems can
are
be
similar in
hard to earn sometimes.
yeah, they are. Bob and I are similar ages, so we have I have a decent job and whatnot, but spending it, I give myself a limit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
have to.
Mhm. So he has another question. Do you think the developer should focus on their next updates on the majority of players who are not at the end game?
Oh,
What do you think?
it's so terribly
Yeah.
intriguing. I read that question and your
Mm-hmm.
server, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt that I'm not qualified to answer that question, but it is a very intriguing question. So
Yeah.
I pass. I
I
pass.
would say I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to pass on that
Yeah.
too. You're correct. I'm just at a loss for words with that.
I will say something about that. Like at the end of the day,
Yeah.
mastery was always a development for the people at the end game. But
Mm-hmm.
in saying that, they are still developing new vehicles. They're still developing new tracks. They're still
Sure.
developing
New
cups,
parts.
new
New
parts.
Right,
maps.
right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, I don't think I don't think they are wholly and solely focused on one side of the game or the other. So I don't think there's any reason for them not to continue doing what they're currently doing anyway.
I appreciate that
Yeah.
insight.
I agree.
I haven't been able to put thoughts to it. You just did that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, no, because I mean, you think about it. I mean, I still keep going back about because I played HCR1, and they are still updating HCR1, and HCR1 is now almost 11 years old.
Right.
Oh
And
wow.
they're still doing updates. They're still adding cars. They're still changing the game and all that sort of stuff.
Well, that almost makes me want to go back and see what it's, all about right now, you know?
it's all about adventure.
Yeah.
And I mean, you touched on this early. You said, Kraken, that you looked at the new game and it had better graphics and everything else. And what made me like HCR2 over HCR1 was the fact that the tracks were more challenging.
I can agree with that for sure.
So, and the graphics was one thing, but the tracks weren't as flowy. They weren't as up and down. They were more landing spots and I
Right.
mentioned this a long time ago in a podcast to Pete that the tracks themselves, even the cups, are a series of challenges. You need to get from that ledge to that ledge,
Right.
and then if you get to that ledge going this fast, then you'll be able to jump again and get to the next ledge, which will then finish the track quickly. So it was
Oh
just
yeah.
it's a series of tests, and you go, okay, which parts will get me from there to there, and get me the height, or get me the distance, or get me the whatever. So it is just a series of tests, and then what works with one track won't work with the next. So and that progression of as the cars go faster and as you get better and better equipment, the gaps change, which makes the
Correct.
game harder again. Because
Exactly.
you can now go further, and going further is actually detrimental because you land in something that will slow you down.
Well, one of my favorite vehicles is actually the mono, which I have
Yep.
some world records and a couple all times. But
Really?
Wow.
yes, indeed.
Nice.
But when I got my master, that was I made sure that I got my mastery on my mono right
First.
away.
Yep.
First thing. So I'm really enjoying some of the masteries that are on there, and it gives me the ability to land stuff, and that little cage sometimes can come in handy. So
Definitely.
I'm
Yep.
certainly enjoying that 100%.
Yep. No, for sure. For sure.
Might have to get that one myself.
I
Well,
really enjoy it.
I did the mastery on the mono just to see what it was like, because on my main account everything is being I'm going through all the masteries on my main account, and then judging whether or not I need it for the alt. And I must say that the mastery on the mono wheel has been a very good addition to the game for the mono wheel players that are not perfect mono wheel players. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
Because you can hit your head, you can bump your head a little, and the stability, the core strength stability is really good as well. So yeah.
I would agree, definitely.
Pete, your question?
Yeah, I've got a question here. I don't know if I want to go straight to mine and skip a couple, or should I go down the line?
Whatever you want, mate.
I,
Whatever you want.
I really like the one from Levy, so I'll go with that one.
Yep.
What is your favorite cheese? We'll start with Bob.
Oh, original. Well, obviously, American.
American cheese.
What does American
Excellent.
cheese taste like?
Well, it tastes like freedom. It
The
tastes
stuff they put on a
like
cheeseburger.
it tastes like everything that that we stand for. Like just kind of average. No, not over the top, but not the bottom. It tastes like
Goes with everything.
you won't even. It goes with everything, and you won't even know it's there. Sometimes it just blends in. Yeah, American.
I would have to say, for me,
That doesn't
my
sound like
most
America at
favorite
all.
cheese. My favorite cheese is going to be Gouda.
Oh, nice.
That
That's
is
good,
a
huh?
really Gouda cheese.
I love
Oh.
yes, Gouda.
Ouch.
Pete.
You beat me to it, Bob.
And do you like it melted or
Yes,
just
yes, indeed. On a sandwich, whatever. Yes, indeed.
That's a nice melted cheese. Yeah, that's nice.
You bet.
Okay.
Wow,
That means
that was a
I've got
passionate. Mm.
Oh, look,
I've got another.
I love food. Full stop. So
Yeah.
I've got another
Foodies
question
unite.
from Levy. Is there a way to target certain parts that you want out of a chest?
Not that I know of.
No, not that I know of. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit.
Cool.
Just,
yeah.
Excellent.
just keep opening chest.
Who's next? Eva?
Yeah, it's me. That's me. So Dr. Fuzzy apologizes profusely for not being able to be in the podcast. So
Oh,
a big shout out to him because we were trying very hard to get it all together. But he's got an extra question for us, and he said, "What is your favourite sweet, candy, or lolly, and why?" And I'll start with Kraken, only because you said you love Halloween, and Halloween you give out candy. So what do you give out, and what do you like?
I mean, I don't buy the kids the same thing. I get my own bag of Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie
That's
Rolls.
my
Now I'm gonna
favorite
look,
thing.
I'm gonna look it up.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, get the big ones, not the ones in the little wrapper, but get the like 2-inch long ones. Those are the best. So
And I've
I'd
got
say
a,
that's my favorite. Other than that, I'm gonna say ice cream. I mean, if I didn't have to get a hard candy or a Halloween candy, I am a big fan of ice cream.
what flavour ice cream?
Well, I went to this new place just on my birthday a few days ago, and I got this caramel brownie, and that was amazing.
Oh, that sounds
Wow.
nice.
Yes, it was so yum. In fact, that's all
Mm.
I can think about these days. I've kind of cut out my sugar intake. Halloween's coming up.
My God.
So, yeah.
Nice.
Very.
Nice. Okay. What about you, Bob Father?
Well, I guess my favorite sweet thing would be kisses. Kisses. Melt
From
in your
wifey.
mouth. Hershey chocolate kisses.
Mm.
Hershey
Very
chocolate
nice.
kisses. Yes, that's what I got to say.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
Very good.
JR?
Okay, I will skip the next question and I will let Pete ask his questions. I'll go down the list. This is from AUSNZ JJH 2 And he says, "What's your opinion on the lowrider masteries? Have you all ever started your lowrider masteries? It just came out."
Unfortunately for me, I am on the bus right now, so I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
not gotten that one. I think Bob does though.
No, I haven't even started it. I'm working on a
Oh,
race
okay.
truck right now, right or wrong. And once I
Yeah.
start something, I got to finish it. So what do you
Same.
do?
Mhm.
How about you,
I'm
Jackrabbit?
still
Do you
on
have
the
it?
No, I'm so behind on masteries. Like if you have mastered all your masteries, I'm in the kindergarten level of masteries.
I hear that.
You've actually got more than me, Jackrabbit. So well done.
Really? Oh,
Yep.
okay, Pete. Your question.
How about Eva? What's your opinion on it?
Oh yeah.
Lowrider mastery. Lowrider. I've said this already. I am halfway through the mastery itself. Having done 2 of the 4. And it's not that much of a game changer. I think the extra fuel is not enough. So yeah, because the biggest letdown for the lowrider was always the fuel content. If you run it with afterburner, it's absolutely useless. So, but we'll see what happens with the when they change the jump shocks when I get to that, which is the next one. But
I've heard that makes a big difference to gaining XP once you get that unlocked.
Yeah, I won't. I will say I won't be going out of my way to get to get mastery on my alt account for this vehicle for lowrider.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. All
Mm.
right. So, a question from AUSNZ Pete. What makes you a team of outcasts?
Oh boy.
Oh,
I really don't know the background behind the name, so I would only be speculating. But the people that grab life by the horns, maybe, I'm not sure.
yeah.
You know, I
Um,
actually don't know the background to the name myself. Even what attracted me was, loyal.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, sure, right.
Cool. Roller skates or skateboard?
Oh gosh, roller skates.
Roller skates for sure. I have 3 pair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Wow. Wow.
Dude,
That's
I
very cool.
enjoy roller skating to this day. In fact, I grew up roller skating at where I live, and I still go there to this day, and the same owner is there. In fact,
Excellent.
Wow.
in fact, um, the gentleman passed away, but he used to come and pick us up in a bus and take us to there so we could actually go,
Oh,
Wow.
cool.
which
Couples
I
Um,
would
only,
like to.
couples only.
Yeah, right.
I'll skate.
and do
So,
you use the skates or the inline blade skates?
No, a roller skate for sure. Speed
Roller
skates.
skate, yeah.
Yeah,
so
I
you
like to
know
go
that
fast.
does he still? Did they still
Wow.
use the bus now?
No, they don't.
And that is a sign of the times. That is terrible because had you started doing that like a year ago, you would have been looked at really badly. But 25, 30, 40 years ago, that was okay. That was deemed okay. A guy is picking people up, bringing them to a roller skating rink, and that's fine. But
Mhm.
nowadays,
I
you look at that and they go, "Oh no, you can't do that. That's
Yeah.
Danger,
exactly.
danger. And
I was talking
Yep.
to
lastly,
a scout person not long ago, and they told me that because they are a scout leader and they have a uniform to be a scout leader, and their daughter is also in the scouts and has a uniform, they are not allowed to drive anywhere in a car together as mum and daughter in their uniform together. Because
What?
if they are seen together, it'll be deemed inappropriate that a adult and a single scout are together in one car.
Oh
that is
my
ridiculous.
gosh.
And I
So
thought,
they have to wear normal clothes when they want to go somewhere. They
when they
can't
want
wear
to
their
go
scout
somewhere, they're
uniform.
not allowed to wear their scout uniform.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
That
I was shocked. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" You know?
yeah, that is
Um,
shocking.
yeah. So yeah, just the world we live in has changed profusely, and for all the wrong reasons. I mean, as a
Hmm.
photographer, going into a public place with a camera nowadays, people shun you for having a camera in your hand. But you know,
Yep.
I'm holding a big camera with a lens on it that'll take a photograph, but the guy standing next to me with his mobile phone can do just
Yeah.
as much, can take just as many photos as I can,
Mhm.
Right.
and
Mhm.
with less attention drawn to him because he's holding a phone
Mhm.
as opposed to holding
Mhm.
a camera. And I think that
Hmm.
is
Mhm.
that is a bad way we've gotten to in life.
Public scrutiny's gone downhill, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we digress. As well as me.
Last question. Why are Americans so scared of the wildlife in Australia? For example, spiders, kangaroos, drop bears.
Well, because they'll all kill you. You can die from every one of them.
Man,
No, not
I
really.
tell you right now, your spiders over there, they're serious. They're
They're the
seriously
size of my
big.
head.
No, they're not.
Oh, it's not the big ones you got to
Really?
worry about. It's the little
No,
ones. Little ones you got to worry about.
exactly. Yeah,
Really?
the redback spider.
How do you live
all them
with that
sort.
though? Don't they scare you?
No.
I for a long time I found out there's a spider in Australia called the Daddy Longlegs,
That
and
is the most poisonous of
it
all
is the most
spiders.
poisonous of all spiders in the world, right? But
What?
its fangs can't penetrate our skin,
Mm.
and
Thank goodness.
its favorite diet is
Mm.
other venomous spiders,
Mm.
Oh,
right?
that's handy.
So what
Oh,
I
yeah.
do is I let them live in my house rent free. You want to,
That's absolutely insane.
Daddy Longlegs, come on in. I have a little sign, Daddy Longlegs, welcome here. Come on in. You
Yeah.
know,
You've
knock
got a room
yourselves
set
out.
up just for them.
And if I can see 5 or 6 Daddy Longlegs in one spot, especially in the toilet somewhere, I know
Oh.
there are no redback spiders. I know there are no whitetail spiders. I know there are no tarantulas, because guess what? They're the favorite meal of the Daddy Longlegs. That's how I sleep at night.
How do you sleep through a kangaroo jumping on your roof,
Oh,
though, for heaven's sakes?
They don't know how to use the doorbell. That's the problem.
I've seen a lot of cartoons growing up with kangaroos going badass on people. They are some mean Mickey Fickies
Yeah,
in the cartoons.
That's the thing. That's the cartoons. Yeah.
Yeah, that's life.
I have hit 2 kangaroos in a car.
Me too. I've hit several.
On
Yep.
purpose?
Oh my god.
No.
Not on purpose.
They
not on
jump
purpose.
out in front of you. I remember one time I was going from Victoria to Queensland, and I had to go through like very, very like, I suppose you call it a desert like land. And I went
Mhm.
through a herd of kangaroo in the middle of the night. So my headlights were on. I was just creeping through every now and then, want to jump in front of the car. And then there was one or two that actually jumped into the side of the car.
Yep. I had one
Is
jump
it-
into the side of a door
Is
as
your
well.
is your car okay?
Yeah, it was fine. I wasn't driving very fast at all. I was just creeping through. Yeah, they're funny creatures. They like lights, like do. They'll jump towards the lights on the car.
Yep.
Yeah, just like our deer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here in the US.
Mm.
Oh, glad we got through that one.
Yes, indeed.
Eva, you're up.
I'm gonna have nightmares tonight about kangaroos fighting spiders.
Well,
Right?
yep. Yep. No, there is a size difference. There is a size difference.
Yeah, but only one of them's poisonous, right?
So here is a
Oh my
question
goodness.
from Wilbur is a great guy.
Yeah.
And he's asked specific questions to specific people. So he's asked Bob Father, do you have something planned for April Fool's yet? How long have you been playing the game?
Ever since I pulled my last April Fool's joke on my beloved hero, our team leader, I have been planning since April for my next
Jeez.
prank, and it will be played on 49 people simultaneously with one accomplice. And I'm not going to give out any details.
Oh, come on.
This sounds like a lot of fun already.
You'll have to tell us when we're not recording.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it's going to be
And
stellar.
now that I know.
I expect it to make international news. You'll be able to see it on CNN.
Oh, good.
And now that I know,
You don't
there's
know.
only 48 people.
I
Oh,
don't know
jeez.
if your memory's going to hold out that long, sister. Come on, you'll forget about me by then.
You're gonna be in Africa
Not a
anyway, aren't
chance.
you? You're gonna be in Africa anyway. Doesn't matter.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is a
Okay, and
fact.
this is a question from Will the Great Guy to Kraken. How did you bounce back from losing your main account and building the current GP?
Like I said this earlier, I spent 8 months with Fingersoft trying to get my main account back, and I just gave up on that. We couldn't figure it out. So I bit the bullet and I got a new account and reached out to Hero and got on the lowest team I can get on and worked my way up.
Hi,
Now,
team.
how I worked my way up, actually, events, how I grow my so fast for the team event vehicles, those are the only vehicles I upgrade.
Yep.
Like, so if I need something and I have massive coins, I literally only get the GP from upgrading and getting my upgraded boosts, all that. That's how I'm getting all my GP so fast.
Yep. That's what I did with the alt. I would join team events, and if I needed the bus with jump shocks, I would just get the jump shocks up. If I
And,
needed
and
wings,
it's a good thing if
yeah,
you do the public events and they give you a car or whatever way
yep.
you can get that car. It took a couple months to get all my cars, but once I did, I knew my strategy and it's been working out rather well.
Yeah, no, that is a really good strategy because a lot of people say the same thing. It's like, well, what do I do? How do I upgrade? Well, you only upgrade what you need. Don't upgrade anything else.
Exactly.
And if you're an adventure player, then maybe you upgrade some adventure parts that aren't really
Sure.
team related. But at the end of the day, you only need one car to do cups. You don't need every single car to do cups.
Right.
And if you're a cups player, then you really want to just, if you want to just sit there and grind, then you only need to upgrade one little part on a couple of parts on a car to make it a cup grinding car. But yeah, you only ever really need what you need for the team events. So that's
Exactly.
the best way to grow GP quickly and make it a powerful account as opposed to just a high GP account.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Yeah, Kraken's right. That's about the best advice that I ever can share with anybody. And that I only know this because somebody shared it with me a few months ago.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it
Who was
probably.
that?
Yes, our beloved hero.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's awesome.
A question from Creepers. This is aimed at Kraken, but Bob Father can answer also. What is your favorite mythical creature? Is it the Kraken? Kraken?
Lord, mythical. I'd have to say the Kraken is not my favorite,
Mhm,
but it went well with KM.
mhm.
My favorite mythical would probably be like the Mothman.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
Mothman.
Yeah, the Mothman. Because
Yeah.
I just find that very interesting and it's creepy but scary and I like a good thrill.
Yeah.
I've got a little, not advice, but I listened to a podcast by Dr. No Sleep. Have you heard of him?
No, I have not.
He has a podcast with scary stories told in story form, and he does all the voices, and he's really, really good. So jump on
Oh,
Spotify, look up Dr. No Sleep, and you'll hear
okay.
plenty of stories.
Nice.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
will do that. Definitely look into
Yeah.
that for sure.
Yeah, he's really good.
What about you, Bob Father? Do you have what's your favorite mythical creature?
Oh, I try not to pick favorites. I love all my mythical creatures equally. Well, but I could say that if I had a mythical creature that was going to be my my right hand man, I'd probably go with a Minotaur because he's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Okay, your turn, Pete.
Yeah. I've got a question here from Lauren. I don't know if I've pronounced that. Could be Lauren. Name some of the best people you have met. For example, most interesting people, and why you like them so much. Bob, Father,
On
go
the
first.
game?
On the game,
Are
in
we
real
talk-
life, whichever.
Wow.
Okay, give me
Kraken, you got
just one.
that?
Well,
I'll go. I'll go ahead and say. I'll go ahead and say that on the game. Like I said, my beloved hero. I mean, he's inspirational. And in the game, there's a guy that my good friend Dogfather. He's never spent a penny on the game, and he's got the highest GP in our team. And then we got these younger guys that have less than half of my GP, and they score 30,000, 40,000 every time. So it's like I'm in awe over a lot of people on my team. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
that
Kraken
is a good
included.
answer. Aw, thank you so
Aw.
much. That is a very good answer.
Mhm.
However, I'm going to take it off the game for me, and I'm Native American, so it was a highlight of my life to meet Fawn Wood. She has won the NAMMYs, which is like the Grammys but Native American style. So, in fact, I listened to her most of the day while I was painting my trim. So, I'd have to say the singer Fawn Wood.
Haven't heard.
Oh,
I'm going to YouTube that one as soon as we're done. I'm going to listen
Yeah,
to some
same.
Fawnwood on her
Absolutely.
on your behalf, Kraken. Excellent.
Well, thank you. She's
Excellent.
amazing. Bob, I'll send you some video, some
Okay.
YouTube songs for you.
All right.
Sounds
I
good.
learned how to click on that and make that stuff work recently too. So cool.
Oh, I shake my
No
head.
joke.
No, I know you weren't joking. That's why I'm shaking my head.
That's why I'm laughing.
There's so much more to
Oh.
Discord now that you know that.
Oh,
Oh,
mercy.
jeez. Oh,
Eva,
jeez.
you're up.
Okay, so this is a question from Jace. Thank you for the question, Jace. He's asked, what is your favorite vehicle in the game? Now, Kraken, you've already answered this with the monowheel. So, Bob, what about you?
Oh, heavens. I love how muscle car can go so fast that it makes my head spin. But I love how Dune Buggy is kind of like well rounded for, somebody that's kind of talently challenged as I am. So I have to pick the crossbreed between Dune Buggy and Muscle Car, which I think is the next vehicle coming out, right? No, I don't know.
The cross between the muscle car and that thing
Dune buggy.
is, and the buggy is the rock bouncer.
Yeah.
Oh, the rock
Right.
bouncer rocks. That's a cool. That you can fly through the sky with that thing. You're right. That is a very fun vehicle. Good point. Yeah. Yeah.
I actually started. I never finished it, but I started doing cup time trials with the rock bouncer. Just to start putting some numbers up on the board, and I got some top fives here and there.
Nice.
And this was not early into the rock bouncer. It was probably about 6 or 7 months after it had been released. I just started from the top and worked my way down. I got about 2/3 of the way through and stopped because mastery started. That's what happened. But yeah, I was really enjoying getting to know the rock bouncer. My advice to the rock bouncer, if people are listening and want to have a bit of fun, afterburner coin wheelie boost is a good mix,
Okay.
and wings wheelie boost and afterburner. depending on the
Love it.
track. Because most of the tracks you can start with a wheelie boost off the start just by getting a perfect start. It was just such a fun car.
I can agree with that for sure.
Here is a question from Luke HCR2 from your team, Loyal Outcast. He would like to ask, what is your favorite food? Kraken, go first.
Seafood.
Oh,
I'd have to say dungeness
I see
crab.
food and I eat it too. Crab?
See, dungeness crab is my most favorite food.
What is that?
It's a crab.
Oh, wow.
Crab. Like as in.
Is it a pineapple under the sea, you know?
Dungeness crab. Oh, it's so yummy.
You know what I'm craving to eat is a seafood boil.
Yeah.
The one with
Seafood boil. What's that?
It's like a mixture of seafood with the Cajun seasoning and buttery, savory. Oh, and now I'm hungry.
And you serve it in a bucket. You get a whole bucket full.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. What about you, Bob? What's your favorite food?
Well, she said seafood. When I see food, I eat it. So I'm kind of my favorite. Oh, I know. This is an easy one. My favorite food is bugs.
Bugs?
What?
Bay bugs?
Yeah, that's what they call. Yeah, you can steam them or poach them, and then you serve them with drawn butter. You dip them in the butter. See, on the East Coast here, that's what people call lobster. They call them bugs.
Yeah.
So you're not eating insects. You're eating something
No.
else.
I would have said insects. if I meant insects. I'm talking about bugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Lobster. Can't go wrong with best lobster. Yep.
My favorite is possibly pork belly or a nice slow cooked brisket.
Nice.
Oh, brisket, baby. Yeah. Yeah. I can
15 hours or so in the smoker.
You come over here and I'm going to have a 14-hour brisket, like a 14-pound brisket going for you.
Yeah.
And you can we'll eat it for days.
It won't last that long with me around. especially if there's beers.
Oh, we have beer here. Yeah.
Sorry, I gotta go. I gotta get a plane ticket.
Do it.
What's your favorite food, Eva?
Look, I'm not a favorite food person. I like to share food. So my favorite food is anything you can put on a table, cover a table with food and share. So Lebanese, Greek, Italian, just covering a table with food and just getting people around the table and eating. That to me
family
is
style.
Not even
family style, we call it.
And I've done this before. There was this little Asian influence place around the corner from where I used to live, and I walked in there one night and I ordered 5 entrees. And the lady come out and said, "Oh, you want 5 entrees?" Yeah. I said, "Just bring them out all together." And she looks at me and she goes, "Are you expecting more people?" And I looked at her and I said, "No."
Oh my goodness!
But there was, duck pancakes. There was wonton soup. There was some, prawn spring rolls, and it was just a real nice mix of flavors. And you get to understand what a restaurant's all about just by having 5 entrees than having just one main. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, and you get dang good leftover doggy bags.
Oh no! I'm Italian, so there's no such thing as leftovers. If it's put on the plate in front of, you, you eat it, right?
Yes.
You don't have a choice. You can't send anything back to the kitchen. Leaving something on the plate means you didn't like the food.
No, you take it home and warm it up, brother.
Oh no. Yeah.
Another good one is Korean barbecue.
Yeah, Korean barbecue's good too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's popular here. Yeah.
hmm
Your question, Pete?
This one is from Heat. How many times have you gotten max kilometers? And I'm going to start with Kraken this time.
I mean, I've had quite a few, which is why I have KM at the front of my name. But I am not doing that anymore. I mean, I worked my tail off for that. You know, that's a lot of time.
Can you remember how many?
How many times? Gosh, no. 7.
More than 5? Oh, 7?
More than 5 for
Nice.
sure. Yeah,
Jackrabbit?
definitely.
They say too many to count.
Yeah.
How about you, Jackrabbit? Is it too many to count for you?
Yes, it's been a long
Yeah.
time since COVID. Max kilometers week after week after week. So
Same.
that's too
Yeah.
many. Yeah.
And Bob?
Well, when I first started playing, that's all I did was play. And then I didn't even know there was such a thing as max kilometers. And then somebody commented on that team chat. It's like, holy cow, you put in a lot of kilometers. How do you get max kilometers? And since then I've learned what that means and have never done it since.
Yeah. It's hard. It's rough. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever reached max kilometers, Eva?
No, I've never done max. I think
Me
my
either.
highest would have been about 1500, but that was on the alt, trying to start to get just grinding the alt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I reached 1,000 once, and that was hard. Couldn't imagine
A lot
reaching
of
max.
the people that put in high kilometers like that, I come to find out they are they have a method for it where they'll go to one track and just do it over and over and over and over and over and over. And
Yeah.
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 to me,
Yeah.
that's too repetitive. You know, I just
Well-
did it
Yeah.
by playing. You know,
I did that a lot when I was going for world records and local records with mono. So it was repetitive, but I wanted to be sure that when I'm doing those tracks, I wanted to make sure I got the highest score out of all of
Heck
them.
yeah.
So
heck yeah, you want to crush it. I got it. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think in the more practice in the time trials and stuff like that with one particular vehicle on all the tracks, you become very aware of all the tracks and you become very aware of what that one vehicle is going to do for you when you're racing, when you're in a team event. If that particular track comes up with that particular car, you know you're going to nail that.
Yep.
That's a good point. You learn your talents, yeah, and your
Absolutely.
tricks of the trade. Yeah, I love it. Huh.
Yep. All right. So here is a question from Scotch. Thanks for the question, Scotch. This is
On the
for
rocks?
How would you improve CC? We'll start with you, Bob.
How would I improve CC? Well, one thing I'm not sure if this would improve it, but I can't help but ponder on the thought of having different amount of players than 50. What would happen if there were 75 or 25 or some numbers in between? I mean, what would it do to the game if it wasn't 50 players per team? I can't get my head past the ins and outs of that concept, but I'd like to think that might be something to look at. I don't know.
Is that just for CC or is that for every division?
Well, maybe they could make it a different amount of players per team per division. maybe the lower the division, you can have less players because, we find ourselves being matched up against a team that has 10 players to our 50. And it's like, okay, that's a walk through the park. But I don't know. I've only recently started thinking about this the last few days, wondering how would it change the dynamics of the game if it wasn't just set at 50 strictly for CC or any division.
Well, it would make mergers a whole lot easier, wouldn't it? If you had two teams of 50 joined to make a CC team, which was 100 people,
Right.
that would make it a whole lot easier. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's a hard
and what happens
thing to
when
get your head
you
around.
get demoted?
Oh, geez.
Do you lose those? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you lose the bottom players?
That could be part of it. Maybe, maybe
Yeah.
not. I mean, that just adds to the twist and the spin of the game. Yeah. I don't know. I don't live in Norway. I'm not.
I would have to imagine if you had more, being a former team leader, I would have to imagine that the more players you have, the more stuff you have to keep track of, like who didn't do their team event, who, things like that. It makes it hard to track on people's accounts and their abilities and who's doing what. So I know as a former team leader, we were pretty methodical about these kinds of things, and still are.
Yep.
It'd be another piece to the puzzle. It sure would. Maybe a piece that wouldn't fit, but I can't stop but thinking about it.
I mean, it would definitely be interesting.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. Yeah.
I would like to ask this question from Freshie. He says, if you could be any one HCR2 player, who would you want to be? Kraken.
Wow.
You can go ahead first.
Oh my God, that's an easy one for me. I really am a big fan of Versacek. Watch his stuff all the time.
Very Shack.
Yeah, Versacek.
Yeah.
He was
Gotcha.
was on the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Recently.
I'm a big fan.
Oh, he's a really cool guy.
Yeah, he is.
That's awesome. I might have to go back and listen to that because I've watched a couple of his videos, not his gaming videos, but of him personally, and he's just very interesting and very well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
No,
You'll find out more.
Yeah, no, you will. You'll find out a bit more. And we asked him very similar questions to what we've asked you, kind of, in terms of his background and his life and all that sort of stuff. So it's well worth listening.
Yes.
I definitely will be looking that up.
Yeah.
That was episode 20, I think. Episode 19. Episode 19. Let me just I'm going back through the episode 19.
Announcements.
Verishak, yeah. No, episode 19. Sorry. I've got all the files in front of me. As in all the recording files in front of me, so I can quickly go back. So yeah, episode 19 of season 2. So that was released
all right.
End of October. Sorry, end of August.
Nice. Perfect. I'm definitely interested to go back and listen to that for sure. He is a big inspiration of mine, and I am definitely a big fan.
Yep. Yeah.
What about you? What about you, Bob? Who would you want to be?
I want to be Dr. Fuzzy. He's got youth on his side, but he's got so much wisdom and guidance and maturity, and he is such a valuable member of our 4-team alliance now. And he makes all our schematic charts and keeps track of, I don't know, all brainiac stuff. It's like, wow. If I could have been in his shoes at that age, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. I might be leader of the universe.
The Teen Universe?
No, just the entire
I
freaking
wish.
universe.
Speaking of Dr. Fuzzy, Pete, there's a question from Dr. Fuzzy. Would you like to ask it?
I think we skipped past one of the Freshie questions, though.
You can ask that one. Yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite genre of music, and who is the best artist in that genre? This one's from Freshie. We'll start with Bob.
Yeah, I'm a metalhead and a heavy rocker from just from growing up through that. But now that I'm really grown up and dang near 60, I stuck a mooch. I don't know what to say. It's going to have to be something along the Strauss lines in classical music.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
That threw me for a loop.
From a metalhead to a classic.
Like I said, I'm all over the board with music, man.
Well, a lot of metal vocalists go through opera training to get their vocal cords up to scratch. Yeah, so
Judas Priest.
That makes a lot of sense.
Rob Halford from Judas Priest was actually an opera singer before he was in Judas Priest, and he can get some very, very high.
I'll be done.
Very, very high. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, now Kraken. I gotta hear what Kraken's gonna say. He's gonna say Fawn Woods.
No. I'm a big fan of music altogether, so I have a wide variety, but I would say my favorite is a band called Hailstorm.
Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Hale Storm. Hailstorm. Her name is Izzy Hale, and I'm a big fan of rocker girls anyway, girl power. So stuff, I have all her stuff. I like her a lot. Like, I also like Dorothy and Pretty Reckless. They're all super cool.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I think I saw Hailstorm open up for Godsmack 5 years ago. Oh my gosh.
I have yet to go to her concert, and I really want to.
You should definitely go. I think I've heard of Hailstorm, but I can't think of any of the music.
If you can go to Africa, girl, you can go to a Hailstorm concert.
Yeah, she just doesn't come in my area very often.
Oh, well, maybe she'll be in Africa.
Have you heard of Spirit Box?
No.
She's another heavy metal kind of singer. Really good live. I've seen her live.
This stuff down.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Cool.
Bad
who's
with
up?
names.
Eva?
Yeah, this is the last question from Dr. Fuzzy. So again, a big shout out to Dr. Fuzzy. And we really wanted to see you on here, but that's fine. Thanks for your question. So are you interested in your ancestry, as in DNA tests and heritage? Bob?
Yeah, for Christmas a couple years back when DNA 23 came out, the thing where you can pay money and poke your blood and send it in and they tell you this stuff. One of my kids got us that kit for Christmas. And now we get all these emails about, we got this matched resident, this matched our ancestor, I should say. And, since my wife is first generation Dutch from what we call the old country, Netherlands, and myself being second generation, we find it really interesting to see how many generations before us were Dutch and where did they start before that? And we don't know. I guess we've been Dutch since Adam and Eve, I guess. So yes, ancestry and DNA and history in general is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
And being a Native American, Kraken, what about yourself?
I did also the 23andMe. However, when I did that, it was very interesting because not only am I Native American, I'm also French, and turns out I'm 3% African American as well. So I had a multicultural family that I never knew about. I grew up with the Native American ways, and that's really all I know. So being able to explore my other parts have been very interesting. As far as ancestors being important, even though that I'm Native American and I'm 100% participating in it, I do powwows and things like Sundance, and I compete in powwows. So it's very important to not only teach my kids, but the grandkids and things like that. So
Beautiful.
absolutely 100%. Never stop educating yourself,
Yep.
Perfect. All right, Jack Rabbit, shall we have the quiz? Time for the quiz?
Yes,
boy.
I think. Oh boy. Yes, I think it's time for the Never Have I Ever quiz
Oh.
Hill Climb Racing edition. Okay, this is how we end the podcast, a fun quiz for both of you. You will each have a turn to answer 12 questions. Are you
12
both
questions.
ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Eva?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the first question. Have you ever reached the maximum GP? Kraken?
No.
Bob?
No,
No.
never will.
Okay. Here's the next question. Have you ever achieved the maximum 15K score in a track? Kraken?
Yes. Yes,
Yes, you
indeed.
have. Oh, nice.
Absolutely.
And Bob, what about you?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Third question. Have you ever finished the road to legendary? Kraken.
Road to Legends.
Yes, this is the cups every
Yes.
month.
Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Bob.
yeah. Most often.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Okay. Fourth question. Have you ever started your own team? Kraken.
Yes, I have.
You have. What about
yes,
you?
I did.
Yeah?
Yep. It was a mistake. It was when I very first started, and I thought, oh, there's teams, these other teams that we're on, and then I got like 3 people, so we couldn't even join the team event. It was a joke for me. 100 gems gone down the tube.
I have the same story. And what about you, Bob? Have you started your own team?
I only did with the help of Hero, and when we made another team in the Hero team clan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right, so that's
But you
2
have.
yeses. Nice.
Yes,
I
yeah.
have, and I still run that team. I have with my leaders, co-leader, Gutta. He was Gutta is very helpful. He was on your episode 27 on
Mm.
season 1, I believe
Yeah.
he told me.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
and then and then the only other co-leader I have is Shadow,
Mm.
and then of course our beloved hero.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, number 6. I'm sorry, number 5. Have you ever spent real money in the game, Kraken?
Yes, indeed. Too much to even mention.
Bob.
Enough to send somebody to college back in 1962.
Yeah,
Excellent.
same.
I'm sorry. Okay, going to the next question. Have you ever participated in any HCR2 tournament, Kraken?
Like, no, I have not.
You have not.
like
No.
Mono Wars or something like that.
Like what?
Mono
Mono
Wars.
Wars.
Oh, no, I don't even know how to get into that, but I'm dying to.
You have to.
I'll send you an
I don't
invite
know
to the
how.
server.
Just a server.
Absolutely.
Hmm
Dying to.
So thank Pete. What about you, Bob?
Well, no, because new things kind of are intimidating to me. I don't even do the daily week race, and even the customer, or what do they call it, the showcase, the whatever, CS,
Community showcase. Yeah.
community showcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, new things are it's a little bit intimidating, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So, yeah, to do a tournament, I don't know.
That's fine. That's fine. So you haven't. So next question. Have you ever thought of giving up playing the game? Kraken.
Oh,
With me losing my main account and
Mm.
stuff, I did over those 8 months
Mm.
contemplate it for sure. Just not
Mhm.
going back.
Mhm. So you have.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Bob. Yeah, Bob, what about you?
yeah, I did. 6 months ago, I quit for 3 days just to prove a point to my wife that I could quit. And the point got across, and I started playing again.
It's so funny. Okay, next question. Have you ever posted a suggestion in the fingersoft server? Kraken.
No, I have not.
You have not. Bob?
No.
No, I try to stay below the wire like that.
Okay, next question. Have you ever reported a cheater to the Fair Play server? Kraken?
Oh my gosh, this is like a trick question. Yeah, I have. You see these. Well, when you're in a what are those called? I've lost my train of thought here. When you're in
Like
a
event?
race and you
Yeah.
and all of a sudden somebody zooms past you and you're like, what the hell just happened? Oops, sorry. And they're just zooming past you. And the first time I ever saw that, I was like, I had to tell somebody. So I told Hero, and he's like, yeah, they've hacked the game or something. So yeah, that was very odd for me.
Mhm.
But now I really just, let them get caught by somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't have time
Yeah.
for that business.
What about you, Bob? Have you ever reported a cheater?
No, I have not, and it's hard for me to identify one because a lot of people think anytime they get beat by somebody, they must be a cheater. But but
Accurate.
no offense, Kraken, I'm talking about somebody else. But
Oh. I was like, oh, really?
wait, what?
Wait, what just happened?
Actually, I will say I'm referring to the other person on our team with the same name as yours, and you know what I'm talking about. So we have two Krakens on our team, and one
Right.
of them is like, oh, they just beat me that they're cheating. But no, have I ever reported anybody? No.
No, no. Okay. Okay, next question. Have you ever had your account flagged for cheating? Kraken.
No,
No.
no, I have not.
Bob.
No, I have had messages come up constantly in my early months with the game that said,
Are you?
"Are you a robot? Are you a robot?
Oh,
What do you
that's
mean, am
funny.
I a
That's a
robot?"
different. Yeah.
No.
Most kilometer grinders get that robot question. Okay. Next question. Have you ever been banned in any HCR or the Fingersoft Discord server? Kraken.
I have never. No.
Never. How about you, Bob?
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Last question. Have you ever done a face reveal on any Discord server, not including this one? Okay, Kraken.
A face reveal?
Face reveal.
I mean, yeah. Only in just like small groups, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Bob. Bob's seen me. Hero, definitely hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have. What about you, Bob? Have you done a face reveal?
Only once, but it was a 20-year-old picture of my wife and I on vacation, so I don't know if that counts.
Oh. But you
and
have.
She looked better than me. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. So
Yes.
let's hear the tally
The outcomes.
of
Okay, so
points.
Kraken has beaten Bob Father 5 points to 8.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 points to 8. Now, just
Look at that,
bearing in
Bob.
mind,
Wow.
yeah, but bearing in mind that the best score we've ever had was 2 Nevers. So yeah, so
What?
it basically means you're really, really, really in the middle of everything. Not the best, not the worst. And it doesn't really matter because we don't actually give out any prizes for this quiz. So even if you win, you just win our gratitude and our love and appreciation. So
Well, I gotta say that as long as I win Bob, I win over Bob.
and I'm a gentleman. I'd laid my jacket down in a puddle of mud. Yes.
Oh, love it.
Awesome.
Love it. No, well, look, that kind of wraps up where we are.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's the last part of the official last part of the podcast. So before you go, I mean, you've done big shout outs to Hero and a few other people as well. Is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to before we go? Bob?
Joplin. Oh, sorry.
Nope, doesn't matter.
No. Go, girl.
Hey, Joplin. I think he's a stellar player. Pretty nice kid. I think. I mean, he's usually at the top of our scoring. So there's a lot to learn from him.
Very
cool.
good.
Yeah, very cool. And you, Bob, just in case?
I have not one but two. Our good friend Filthy Aaron. He is crucial to the team, and my good new friend over the past 8 months, Dogfather, or he goes by a lot of dog names, the Hound sometimes, but just for his wisdom and strength. So I get to say, between the two of those people, I want to pick up the best that I can from them. Yeah.
If you don't mind me adding, I want to give a shout out to Hero and say that I'm sorry that he couldn't be here. He had some family obligations, but we're definitely thinking about him. And last but not least, I want to give a shout out to Puggy. Puggy is a good
Puggy.
kid. Puggy. He's a great kid, great player. I definitely wish I was him when I was a kid. Great head
Cool.
on his shoulders right there.
Yeah, very cool.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. Pete, did you have any last questions, comments, thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's a shame that Hero couldn't make it and Dr. Fuzzy also couldn't make it due to time zone reasons and personal reasons, but that's okay. We made a really, really good episode without you two, so shame you couldn't be here, but yeah, you tried. And also, thank you to everybody who has asked questions on the Loyal Outcast server. We really appreciate your input, so thank you very much, guys. How about you, Eva?
Well, I'd like to say a big thank you to both Kraken and Bob Father for spending a couple of hours with us and giving us your perception of the game and your perception of the community that we're in. It's always interesting to hear the perceptions and the other about other people's communities because you know we tend to be in our own little environment, our own little community, but we appreciate and love, and it's nice to hear it from other people as well. So, and then over and above that, I want to say big thanks to Pete and JR for organising this. It was a lot of hard work trying to get all the time zones to match and work. And then lastly, to our listeners, thanks for listening. Thanks for commenting on our podcast. We really appreciate the comments. We really appreciate having some feedback from people telling us how and what they want to see next on the podcast. So please give us your feedback. If you are still listening at this end of a very long podcast and you like what you've heard, please like and subscribe. We would love to see you as regular listeners. Thanks again from everybody, and thanks again for everybody's time. Yeah, so it's a goodbye from me. Thank you very much, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night,
Awesome.
everybody,
All right.
and remember
Night,
to
everybody.
take care of yourself and each other.
Excellent words. All right.